Wednesday or Tuesday. It's Tuesday, December 4th, and we're going to get started with tonight's AIG orientation. We actually host this twice a month to allow you guys who are new to the business or those who have been in the business to actually get an overview of how Empower Network works, how Team AIG works, and basically how you can begin making money fast. We basically share that we want to show you how to make your first $1,000, if at all possible, within the next 24 hours if you learn how to follow our lead and do the things that we share with you that need to be done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a PowerPoint presentation with you guys on tonight in the first half, and then the second half is going to actually be where we're going to talk about an accountability partner. And having an accountability partner actually allows you to have someone to work hand in hand with to actually build your business. And so we have Lysandra Everett who's going to present that to you guys on tonight, and we'll cover that a little bit in detail as we're going through the training. And so I will be checking back periodically that if for any reason something happens, you guys can't hear me or the screen freezes or something happens, make sure you come on over here to the chat box and just kind of communicate with us here and let us know. That's the way that we know what's going on, because I'm going to be in full screen and I can't see what's happening. So you'll see me come back every now and then. So if you have any concerns, just put them here in the chat. All right? Awesome. So glad to have all of you guys here on tonight. And what we're going to talk about is how to succeed in Empower Network while having fun and making some serious money. Now, what we're going to cover tonight is the Internet marketing cycle of success. Guys, this is how the money is made. If you follow this formula in and of itself and you begin to implement the things that we're going to share with you, it will make a tremendous amount of difference for the amount of money that you can make. I think in the beginning when people are first getting started, they get overwhelmed. They're like, oh, my God, what am I supposed to be doing? And this cycle is going to share with you exactly what your focus should be on and how this business process is going to work. We're going to talk about getting started properly, what to expect as you get involved in the business, the mysteries behind marketing, how to make the money really, and we're going to talk about the accountability partner segment of it towards the end of this training. Now, here's what I'm very, very serious about Empower Network. I do treat this like my business. I actually had some conversations with some people this week, and I do take this business very seriously. I think sometimes people come into the Internet marketing world and they feel like it's a side thing. Some people actually think it's a scam or it's some kind of pyramid thing. You know, many people have gone through the Internet, the MLM industry, the multi-level marketing industry, and they kind of look at this Internet marketing as a very similar format. And so a lot of people begin to discredit what it is that we do. The truth is that our skill that we learn in the Internet marketing world is now one of the highest demand professions in the industry, in the world. If you look at China, which is on its way to be, wanting to be the number one country in the world, and you look at America and India and the Philippines, technology has taken over. We've made a transference from the industrial age, and we're going into the technological age. So having technical skill is imperative to anyone who wants to be able to thrive in our world and in our economy. And so when we talk about Internet marketing, this is not a side thing. This is actually a skill set that can add a tremendous amount of value to your life. It can actually increase your income and triple, quadruple your income if you take it seriously enough. And so when we talk about, why should we take Empower Network seriously and what is this all about? Should I just, basically do it in my spare time, or should I really put some energy into it? Guys, the skills that you're going to learn from what it is that we're doing can make you a multiple 6- and 7-figure income for many years to come. And so I'm very, very serious about what it is that we do, because I do have a multi-million and billion-dollar plan in my head about a lot of the information that I'm learning. So let me just give you guys a warning. If you are working with me, I am a stickler. I am someone that I do not play games about what we do. I'm not somebody that's here to kid around. I don't waste time. I'm very serious because I look at my life like a corporation. And so when you say you want to succeed and you say you want to partner up with us and you tell me, Nicole, I have X, Y, and Z goals, I will push you. Because I believe in actually investing the energy into developing ourselves to the point where we can command value. We have value, so we can command a level of income in our life that is a reflection of what we think we're worth. And so I will give you guys that forewarning that I'm very, very serious about this. And this doesn't mean that you have to be scared or anything. I'm a fun person. I love actually imparting in people, but I will tell you that if you take this serious yourself, it will basically alter your future in ways beyond belief. And a lot of people don't believe me when I say this, but I'm just going to tell you guys, just keep watching the next couple of years, and I'll be on the front cover of Inc. magazine talking about, see, I told you so. So anyway, but we also have limited time. You know, when we talk about marketing and having your own business, you know, there's a lot of us that have a lot of things going on in our lives. I just was a few minutes late because I have a very sleepy 11-month-old that did not want to go down. I have a 4-year-old that we have to do homework with. All of us have limited time in our lives, and so when you talk about Empower Network actually allows you to condense the amount of effort you have to put into something, the amount of time that you have to invest into this business to make a certain level of income. I'm actually making way more money in Empower Network than I have in any other business that I've been in for the amount of time that I invest. I have made, you know, a great deal of income in different businesses before, but the amount of time that I've had to put into it was basically the entire day. I mean, you're talking 12, 18-hour days, nonstop phone calls, nonstop conferences, nonstop meetings, and you know, hotel room meetings and all these different things. So when we look at the return on your time investment, what they say ROI in the business world of what you get out of Empower Network, for those of us that have limited time, if you really do take this seriously enough and you actually devote the energy to learn what it is that we're going to teach you, you can truly make a huge amount of income for a limited amount of time by implementing the things that we share with you. Another thing is that, you know, I've been in several different businesses before, and I love to train. I do love to train. I think one of my biggest downfalls, though, is that I'm big on personal development training, and so sometimes that gets me in trouble because you find out that in our entrepreneurial world, you know, there's a lot of people who lack the personal development training and can never get to the marketing training. And so that's what happened to me in several businesses before, you know, in network marketing organizations and things like that. I found that most people who are just getting started in owning their own business, they've never really gotten into personal development yet. And so sometimes we end up getting stuck there, and that happened to me in the past. I would find myself in MLM companies trying to constantly raise people up through personal development, and they never really understood the skill of sales. The difference in Empower Network is that although we can devote a great deal of time and energy into personal development, you also can get taught a few skills that will get you to the point where you're getting results. And now I have the ability to help others a lot better because I would find myself constantly encouraging and trying to coach and mentor and talk about books and all these different mindset things in other businesses, but I couldn't create the duplication factor in those businesses because most people just did not have a certain level of skill and experience to really get the level of results that I was able to get. Now that we're in Empower Network, literally people are joining and don't even know what it is. We had someone, I don't know if he's on tonight, he's in Singapore by the name of Walter Ingram, and he got involved in the business, and my coach that I hired, we have 2 traffic coaches that teach us how to generate leads and stuff for our business. They were running something called a co-op, and you guys will learn a little bit about that on tonight. And Walter was like, what's a co-op? And they was like, well, you know, it's basically where everybody chip their money in and we buy traffic, we buy leads. And so basically Walter invested his money. He didn't know what it was, and a day later he had a sale of $16.25. He was blown away because he was like, I don't even know what this is yet. So the ability for people to come in and not even truly grasp what's going on and have the opportunity to make money makes this so much easier. So for people like me who desire to train, who desire to, you know, kind of lead people down the path of entrepreneurship, this makes my life a lot easier because, yes, we can focus on personal development, but we can also teach those skills and put you in a system that is already designed for you to succeed without you having to do a whole lot of technical work or take years to learn something. So that's the beautiful thing about this, and that's why I love this business. It's not about the money, guys. You know, with me, I'm not really, I love making the money, don't get me wrong, but I've learned that it's not about chasing money. It's about the ability to attract money in your life. And so with internet marketing, I think this is that kind of that groundbreaking skill that has made so many young kids. I was just watching a video before we got started about a 10th grader who made $5 million online by being an affiliate marketer over the summer between his 10th and 11th grade school year. And that's freaking phenomenal. This is one of the only industries where you have everybody kind of has an even playing field, right? Because in most businesses there's an unfair advantage, whether it's experience. If you look at corporate America, you know, it's about experience, your background, how many degrees you have, who you know, your pedigree, just all these different things. But when you come into the internet marketing world, guys, so many of us have such an even playing field to just skyrocket in so many different areas of our lives by learning the skill. And so when we talk about Empower Network, it's not about the money only. It's really about the skill. It's about the ability to increase your value. And when you increase your value, you have the opportunity to increase your income and command more income in your life. Empower Network is the first business that is designed for everyone to win, and I just shared that with you. Literally, we have so many people who've tried so many things, and they failed so many times, and they've just gotten to the point where they felt discouraged and thought, maybe I'm not good enough, maybe this isn't for me, maybe I just need to stick with getting a real job, maybe I can never really live my dreams, maybe I just need to give up on all the things that I wanted to do, blah, 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 blah. And finally, they come to Empower Network, and they see the light. It's like finally you get that moment of recognition that, yes, you are good enough. You do have the skills. You do have what it takes, and you can succeed, and you will get your shining moment where you will get on the stage, and people will cheer out your name, and they will get to know you. This is a business where everybody can win. The difference is who takes it seriously and those who treat it like a hobby. So it all boils down to your level of determination and your commitment to it and what you want to get out of it. And also, I've never seen results like this. I think as a woman, I think women have issues with nurturing. We have this motherly instinct in us where we want everybody to succeed and we want everybody to win. And I've tried so many businesses before where I was just so discouraged because I was getting results and other people did not get the results. And finally, we're in a business where, yes, other people are finally getting the results. I think the biggest challenge for me now is those who don't do what they need to do so that they can get their shining moment. And so when we talk about Empower Network and we're educating you guys on tonight in this orientation and we're giving you an overview of what's going on, I want this to be kind of like a coach to the player kind of moment. If you guys watch the NFL or if you watch the NBA, any of these games, anything like that, and they have these locker room moments, this is our locker room moment. This is when I'm preparing you guys before we go out on the field and play the game. This is when we're down at halftime, and I'm trying to get you guys to understand that we can win this game. A lot of us are coming into this business with tons of different background stories. I mean, I have tons of people that come to me all the time, and they give me millions of stories about what's going on in their life. And my point is that everybody has a story, but it's time to talk about how you're going to create the glory. And if you come to me and you say, Nicole, this is my story, this is all the struggles that I'm dealing with, I'm going to be that coach that says, okay, I know we just lost a couple of games. I know we're down by 30 points at halftime, but how are we going to come back so that we can take a W out the field? How are we going to win this game? And so that's what I want you guys to understand. Results are happening like never before. This is not a joke. This is not, it's some scam, and this is not some side hobby. If you look yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself all the time, I know that I have what it takes. I know that there's greatness in me, but for some reason I haven't had an opportunity to bring it out. Guys, listen to me. This is one vehicle where if you just allow yourself the time and the chance to educate yourself with the skill, there's going to be so many ideas and so many inspirational moments that's going to come across your path where you're going to be able to just take flight on your own with such a level of confidence because you're going to start having a vision for yourself. You're going to start having ideas that are going to lead you down a path for just an amazing future. And I'm not trying to pump y'all up. Y'all know that I am a big motivational person, but I want you guys to understand, I tell my leadership team, we have a leadership council for our team, and I tell them all the time, I'm like, guys, listen to me. I want you to understand that this is so much bigger than Empower Network. This is so much bigger than making money. It's about your future, and it's about the ability to increase your value to the point that every time somebody sits down with you, they felt like they've taken so much away from that conversation that they can't wait to see you again. That's what we're talking about here. So this is what we're going to cover on tonight. There's this quote that someone posted this, and I thought, wow, this is ideal for what we deal with our business. It says, an educated mind can move mountains while a confused mind can build imaginary mountains called obstacles. And I think one of the biggest challenges with Empower Network, or not Empower Network, but with just internet marketing, period, is the fact that many of us come in a desperation situation, right? And I always get people who are like, yeah, I'm struggling, I got laid off, I have limited funds, blah, 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 and basically I need to make money tomorrow. Like I have, $2,000 worth of bills sitting on my counter right now, and I just got in for $25. Tell me how fast I can get my $2,000 out of it. And so what happens is, it's not really, they don't have a chance to educate themselves on the process of the business because their mind is cluttered with desperation. There's so many things going on through their head that no matter what you tell them, they're not listening because they're looking for that magical message of, the money's going to fall from the sky or go out to your front door and pull some money off of a bush and we're going to resolve your issues, and that's not how this works. This is a training. This business is a training resource. And it trains you on how to attract money in your life through a skill of marketing. And what we do is we educate you on the process. Now, what you want to be able to do is sit down, free your mind, remove all your burdens and your issues off of your shoulders and put them behind you and say, you know what, that's my life right now, but that does not dictate where I'm going. I'm going to educate myself so that I can be able to successfully build this business without unnecessary obstacles. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that when we're talking about what we're going to share with you guys on tonight, you can make $1,000 in 24 hours. People have done that, but you have to educate yourself and understand the process, and that's why we're educating you on tonight. Now, I always ask people, do you take yourself seriously? And the reason why I say this is because, I always share the fact that I'm from Los Angeles, born and raised. And in Los Angeles, if you've never been there before, if any of you have been there before, all it takes is to cross one street go on the other side of what I call La Cienega. When you go on the other side of La Cienega, going towards the beach, you have like this whole community of dreamers. Los Angeles is full of people who came from, backwoods of Indiana or Montana, or they came from Minneapolis or Cincinnati. You have people who come from all over the world because they feel like Los Angeles is the street of dreams. That's where anything you want is possible. And what happens is, people come to L.A., and it's like a very superficial city. It's very Hollywood, and it becomes one of those places where everybody wants to always talk about who they know and who they hung out with and that they know a celebrity and all these different things. So we grew up in an environment where people are always talking about how they're going to drop their album, or they hung out with a celebrity the night before, or they have this upcoming gig where they're going to be an actor or an actress. I mean, it was just all this talking going on. And it got to the point where it was very hard to find genuine conversations because people were so full of phony beliefs or phony ideas of what they needed to, talk about because they were in Los Angeles. And I grew aggravated by that. And the issue with that is a lot of people would talk about what they wanted, and they would kind of create this superficial lifestyle by being associated by people, but they wouldn't do the work to position themselves to become those people. It was always talking about what I'm going to do and what I got and where I'm going and how it's going to happen, but you would find these people goofing off, hanging out at clubs, doing all the things that would never allow them to really be that person, but it will give them access to the people who were already the celebrities. And I've learned in real life a lot of people are like that. We talk about what we want, where we're going, how it's going to happen, but very few of us take ourselves seriously enough to map out a plan, to believe in ourselves enough to make it happen. And so when we talk about, what you want versus what you're willing to do to get it, that's where the true division, the true line is drawn in the sand to say, all right, now I hear you saying what you want to do, but what are you willing to do to get there? And when we talk about internet marketing and Empower Network and things like that, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, success is so easy because most people don't have the work ethic. And it all boils down to work ethic. It boils down to that person who's determined to do what it takes to succeed in spite of, no matter what. And so if you get to a point where you find yourself, being a talker and not really an action taker, and you find yourself sitting around and waiting around for somebody to do something for you, that's the time where you kind of got to dig your heels in and start asking yourself, all right, what is it that I need to take responsibility for to make some things happen? I just want to make sure. Are y'all still with me? Can y'all hear me? So quiet. Yeah. Okay, good. So quiet. No chats. Okay, here you are. Okay, is this helping? Hey, Mercedes, I got your message last night. Okay. All right, good. Awesome. Oh, great. Siv made it on all the way from Norway. Hi, Siv. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. Moving on. All right, so taking responsibility for your outcome, plugging in and doing whatever it takes. Guys, we give you all the resources. We have tons of things here. And don't be intimidated to come on Facebook and say, hey, guys, I'm lost. Can you give me some guidance? Because it will happen. Sometimes you guys might want to call your sponsor and can't immediately access them. So we created the Facebook group so that we can kind of create a culture where everybody kind of helps each other and we become interdependent, where everybody kind of helps each other. So whenever you have any issues, just go on over to Facebook and just kind of put it up there because we almost have everything you need in our training center, but sometimes you just can't find it because it's so much stuff, okay? Also, putting your money where your mouth is. Sorry, my phone keeps pulling this thing up. Putting your money where your mouth is. It's going to cost you guys to be in this business, $25, obviously. So don't be afraid to invest. It's an investment into a skill that's going to be able to allow you to make more money. I never thought the day would come where I literally can be out grocery shopping and come home and made $6,000 in a day. But it all boils down to investing in yourself, and that's what this is all about. So don't be intimidated by that. Treating this opportunity like a $3,000 per day business. And I usually tell people, what we all know, the whole cliche, what you get out of it, what you put into it. What you guys want to do is begin to look at this as though you've already gotten the goals that you have for you. And we'll cover goals a little bit. I'm actually going to end up doing a 2013 how to plan for your 2013, and I'll show you guys a couple of things that I've done on tonight. But I'm going to actually do a coaching session so I can show you guys how to actually map out your year for the upcoming year. So anyway, Internet Marketing Cycle of Success. Guys, this is all you really need to know. This is where the money is, to be honest with you. It boils down to you in the beginning, getting your system set up. The second thing is getting your blog set up. The third thing is having a marketing plan. And what you want to do with the marketing plan is you basically identify 2 methods of marketing and which ones you're going to actually pursue, whether you want to do video marketing or blogging or something like that. You choose a method in which you're going to be consistent in those marketings. And then you want to think about your target market. I think a lot of us come in and we feel like we need to be asking any and everybody to join Empower Network with us. But I think the easiest way for you to be able to define who you should be targeting is to boil down ideally what is that person, what does that person look like that you feel is best suited for your message. So, for example, for me, my target audience is entrepreneurs who want to create passive income. So if you have ever tried to open up your own business, if you're somebody that has done tons of research on purchasing a franchise, or you may have had your own companies before and they may have flapped a little bit, or you had to deal with, storefronts, and dealing with employees or anything like that, or you're somebody who was a home-based business owner or a solopreneur, you've been in the MLM industry before, and you don't want to work for anybody, and you know that you're designed to work for yourself, but you just need a little bit of guidance, and you want to learn how to create passive income, that's my target market. I am someone that loves entrepreneurship, and I'm a big advocate for entrepreneurship, and so that's basically when I talk, I'm talking to other people who are entrepreneurs who have like minds. So what you have to do is begin to identify who's your target market. We have a lot of women who are stay-at-home moms who often say, well, I want to target stay-at-home moms. And so what I have to say is let's get a little bit more specific on ideally who is your ideal avatar. What does that person look like? What is it that they want? What are the struggles that they're faced with? And who are they looking for to solve that problem? Because a lot of times, guys, your ideal avatar is you. So if you think about who you're marketing to, most of the times you're going to be marketing to yourself. Somebody who is just like you. We have Kirk, who's a motivational speaker, and he might be targeting other motivational speakers who are trying to find ways to expand their businesses and create a brand and a presence online. Lysandra is a military mom. She's traveled all over the country with her husband, having to uproot herself over and over and over again, so she's never been able to really establish a profession, a career for herself, because she had to live in the shadows of her husband living in his profession. And so she can target the women who are career-minded, who are, career-oriented, but they can't really devote their time to build a career because they have to support their husband's military career. So she is basically pursuing military spouses. So when you think about who you're reaching, who your target market is, what happens is you allow yourself to now know how to direct your blog posts, how to create your video posts. When you know who you're talking to, it makes it that much easier to talk, right? So, for example, if I knew that I was talking to stay-at-home moms, and I know that I have a message for stay-at-home moms, and let's just say that I planned a lunch date, and I ended up going to lunch with a bunch of men who have no children, who are single, and they're bachelors, my message would change because they couldn't relate to my normal, typical planned conversation for stay-at-home moms. They can't relate to the fact that stay-at-home moms don't get a chance to sit down at the table and eat a meal, that we're always giving up our food off of our plate, or, we're always doing everything for the house, that we never get to take care of ourselves. They would not understand that. So I cannot speak to male bachelors as though they're women with children. So what you have to do is get very specific about ideally who you want your target market to be, and start catering everything that you do in your marketing efforts to them. So, for example, a lot of us think that we need to talk about making money online in order to make money online, and that's not true, guys. I think that it actually it removes any level of confidence in you when we force you to do that as a newbie, and it actually is pigeonholing you. But all of you are coming into this business with some background or experience from something that you've done before in your life, whether you were a teacher, whether you were a financial advisor, whether you were a contractor, a real estate investor, a real estate agent. There's something in your background that is valuable to the marketplace on the internet that somebody is Googling about right now, and you can focus on what you know rather than trying to create content on what you don't know. When you try to do things on what you don't know, that's where your lack of confidence comes in, and all of a sudden you kind of shy away from it because we avoid things that we don't feel comfortable in, right? So if you don't know a topic, guys, stay away from it and try to begin to look at what you do know and see how you can make this a marketable message online, okay? So think about that. I don't know what it would be, but you think about that and start jotting some things down. And we actually have tons of worksheets under the blogging in the training center for the blogging section, and I'll show you that shortly. Another thing, guys, is that you want to think about whatever your target market, whoever they are, what is the problem that you're solving, okay? In order to make money in the world, you have to find a problem and give it a solution. That's the way people exchange money for you, because there's something of value that you've offered them, and you provide a solution to a problem that they have. So what is the problem that you're going to solve? For me, I solve the problem of entrepreneurs in their startup phases where they don't have any money. I show them how to turn their information into income using the internet. And I also show them how to automate their income through different programs, affiliate programs that will actually allow them to make residual income consistently. So what problem are you solving? You have to think about that, because what's going to happen is when you start doing videos or when you start doing blog posts, whenever you're marketing, for example, a stay-at-home mom's issue is the fact that she has no life, she doesn't get out, she doesn't have any income coming in, and she's probably a very, you got to define that stay-at-home mom you're going after. I don't want the stay-at-home mom that wants to make candles and make her own soap. I just don't, because she loves the crafty stuff, and she's probably not into making money that much. But I do want the stay-at-home mom that once had a corporate career and is college educated, because she's sitting in that house with her children saying, gosh, this is beautiful, I'm enjoying little Bobby and little Kim, but I do want my life back. How do I create a life of my own where I feel like I have an identity? And so when I'm shooting videos, I can say, well, hey, are you a stay-at-home mom who once had a corporate background, but now you're lost in the shuffle of babies, bottles, and, boobs or whatever it is if they're nursing. But I can directly talk to that mom and say, don't you miss the days of being able to dress up and feel like somebody and not just be somebody's mom? How would you like to reinvent yourself again, but be able to do it from the comfort of your own home without neglecting your family, without depriving your children from that personal time with their parents, without doing these certain things? How would you like to make the same income you made in the corporate world while having a social connection and being able to feel like you have a life and an identity? Now I can hit home with that entrepreneur who is having, flashbacks of the moments when they were the executive or whatever it was, and people respected them and they treated them like an adult, and they didn't have baby goo-goo gaga language going on all day. That's what happens when you start understanding what the problems are of your target market. You start knowing how to talk to their pain. And then you're able to lead them to a call of action and say, hey, if you want to get to a point where you can reinvent yourself and reinvent yourself fast, and you don't want to have to wait till your kids, your 2-year-old is a teenager before you can reinvent yourself or have an identity, why don't you go to this website now, and this is where you're going to get started. And I will send them to my Nicole's Empower Network website.com. You know what I mean? So you have to be able to identify who your target market is, what is the problems that they have, and how you can solve them, and how you can speak to their pain. Once you do that, now you start marketing to provide a solution to those people. So if you're dealing with military spouses like Lysandra is, she already knows the pains that they go through. They're moving constantly. They don't know where they're going to move to. Their kids have to keep making new connections. They have to make new connections. They can't never get anywhere and get really comfortable and get a career going. So now she's going to shoot her video and say, are you that spouse who's followed, gone from city to city, country to country with your spouse, wanting to support their career, but in the back of your mind you're saying to yourself that you've lost your entire life, that you basically are just living to support them, but you feel like you don't have anything for yourself? Do you want to reclaim your identity? She can speak to that person's pain and let them know that How would you like to have a mobile profession that no matter where you went, you still carried the same level of respect, you still made the same amount of income, and you still kept the same community? Now she can speak to their pain and say, here's your solution, Lasandra'sEmpowerNetwork.website.com. This is how you guys want to begin to think about your content and position yourself so that you can actually understand how this works. Is this making sense to you guys? Give me some feedback. Yes. Okay. Oh, Nishalay, you're here. Hey. Okay. So this is giving you guys a little bit of understanding about how to blog and what content to create, and, you know, when you're doing marketing, how to actually create your messages to directly reach those people. Okay, good. Okay, good. Hey, Lamar. Awesome. Good. Okay, so this is, guys, I think this is probably the most critical aspect of being able to map out what to do. Because I think when people say, well, what should I be doing, it's not that they don't know what to do. We can show y'all techniques. We can show y'all how to shoot YouTube videos and syndicate them and get 1,000, viewers. We can show you guys how to write blog posts and syndicate it. We can show you paid marketing. We can show you guys all those things. But I think what's generally happening is when people say, what should I be doing, it's really, what should I be saying? Who should I be saying it to? What kind of content should I be creating? Once you identify who you want to talk to, and I'm going to tell you guys, don't make this hard. Look at yourself and think about yourself and say to yourself, am I in my ideal target market? When I think about me and where I came from and how I ended up in internet marketing, and when I was asked this question about who's your ideal avatar, it was that I'm a person who has always been chasing success. I've, come from a background of real estate. I made 6 figures. I was used to making 5 figures a month. I was into reading tons of books, and I always wanted to own my own business. I've looked into pursuing owning Subway franchises, Quizno franchise. I've looked into all this stuff, McDonald's franchises. I'm that person that kind of went through every possible way to build wealth, and I ended up trying a few of those things, and they collapsed, and I was eager to get back on track, but I didn't want to do it the slow way. I needed to do it fast. So I was interested in investing 18 months to hurry up and replace my 6-figure income versus going to get a job and getting $8 an hour. So when I was able to shoot my videos, I can talk directly to myself. I can share the fact that, hey, did you just go through bankruptcy? Did you just go through foreclosure? Did you just go through repossession? Did you go through investing in all these different real estate properties because you wanted to play Monopoly, but the economy tanked, and now you're stuck flat on your back. You own nothing, but you want to get back on track because you know you still have what it takes to succeed. I was able to create my content in a way that spoke to myself in the bodies of other people. And so what you guys have to do, this is when you have a reality check with yourself, because you have to ask yourself, would you be the ideal person that you want to talk to? Are you that person who you feel will be willing to whip out a credit card and give you some money? This is when the reality check comes in, because a lot of times we come into something with hesitation of spending money because we're afraid and we're thinking about all these different things that, oh, what if this isn't real? What if this is a scam? What if this doesn't work? What if this, what if this, what if? And what happens is when you create your ideal avatar, if you're saying that you're your ideal avatar, if you operate in fear and you're afraid to spend money and you're worried about getting scammed and you can't think about anything but all the wrong things, what happens is you start attracting those kind of people to you because you're talking to yourself. So when you talk to yourself and all that you do, you attract yourself, which means that you're not going to make any money because you don't want to spend any money, but you're attracting the people who think just like you who don't want to spend any money either. So I just did a whole lot of talking right there, but I hope you guys are grasping that picture. This is when you release yourself to say, I want to be my greatest self so that I can begin to attract people who want to do the same. It's not that I want to attract lazy people. I want to attract broke people. I want to attract people who don't want to do anything for themselves. That's not ideally who we want to attract. If you want to make money, you ideally want to attract people who are willing to spend the money. And that's when you have to release yourself from this fear with money and start putting yourself in position where you're not worried about the money. I think so many of us, I put a picture tonight, and people probably think I'm like some 15-year-old kid that sells drugs on the corner and happy to have money, but really it's a message behind it. I went tonight to the bank and pulled $1,000 out of the bank, and I said to myself, I was thinking this to myself. I didn't put it in the message, but it's amazing what this little piece of paper, how much it drives people crazy, how much fear people operate in, how much greed people operate in, how many people drool over money, how many people, their relationship with money is they fear money because they don't think that they don't deserve it. There's so many crazy mental stigmas when you look at that piece of paper. And what happens is oftentimes if you look at money, it really is it's a piece of paper that controls the majority of the lives of almost everybody in this world. The majority, not everybody, but almost. I mean, it controls people's decisions. It controls people's marriages and relationships. It controls people's futures. It controls how their relationship with their children. It is amazing how that little simple piece of paper controls people's lives. And the truth is that money is not a god. It is a tool. It is not a ruler. It is a piece of paper that's designed for you to use it to basically leverage your purpose in life. And so when you have this fear and anxiety about money, you know, a lot of people freak out when, like, I get people who call me all the time and they're about to lose their houses. And they go on this rampage about, oh, my gosh, you know, I'm so behind. And I tell them, let the house go. And they freak out because that's not what they're expecting from me. They're like, you're supposed to tell me how to hurry up and make money and how to fix this. But I have to bring in their realization that sometimes letting certain things go in your life is actually the blessing that you need to free you up to get focused again, because you start worshiping money to basically put back into this house that is a pit, a money pit that you can't afford to sustain because your life has changed, it's shifted. So let it go. And people freak out and they hang up the phone and they don't want to call me ever again. But I will tell you guys, you know, material things and money are just basically resources. And when you start living your life and all your decisions around a fear of losing those resources, what happens is you have a mentality of lack. You have this mentality of harboring. It's almost like if you ever see hoarders. You hoard everything because of a fear that if you let anything go, you can never replace it in your life. And so your internal mental state, you become a hoarder. You hoard every potential opportunity in your life. You block it because you're trying to hold on to money. And it's not until you start releasing your money and be okay with losing it. You're going to lose money sometimes. It just is what it is. But what you don't lose is the knowledge and the experience and the learning that you get from those encounters where certain things happen in your life. And I'm just saying this because I think, you know, it has a huge influence on your success. Like, a lot of people come to me and they're like, Nicole, I want to make money. And I'm actually working on a series now of trainings that I'm going to do about how to attract money in your life and not chase money. When I tell y'all money is so bleeping easy to make, it's ridiculous. I was looking tonight at Shark Tank. That is my favorite show in the whole world. And the guy that owns the Dallas Mavericks, he had basically purchased this guy's business for Christmas trees. And he said, you know, you have a great idea, and the only thing that's holding you back from actually being able to explode this business is financial resources. He said, but money is easy. That's the easy part. I'm going to help you learn how to execute the rest of it. And when he said that, I said that to myself. See, yes, he's a billionaire, but he wasn't always a billionaire. He had accepted that in his mind long beforehand. And so, guys, I'm sharing this with you because you might be wondering, what does this have to do with marketing and how am I going to get to $1,000 fast? It's not until you start adjusting your relationship with being successful and attracting money in your life that you will actually be able to experience it. It's a weird encounter. It's very weird. But I'm saying this, you're talking to a person who, when I first got in this industry, I was on welfare, literally on welfare. You know, we were living in somebody's house. Everything we owned was in one room, and we were sleeping on a 40-year-old pull-out couch. I was eight months pregnant. I can feel all the different spokes in the bed poking me in my back. I had a horrible, it was just a horrible living situation because we were, you know, somebody was basically opening up their doors to us because we had nowhere else to go. We had lost everything, and nobody would hire me because I had a big belly sitting in front of me. So we had about $200 or $300 a month coming into our household, and I was desperate. I was real desperate because I wanted to, number one, not have my baby under somebody else's roof. I wanted us to have our own place. And I also was at a point where I knew that I was bigger than my circumstances. I just needed to hurry up and find that thing that was going to get me back on track because I knew I had it in me. So I remember diligently getting on this internet and diligently focusing on trying to learn and just devote all this time and energy into things, and it would cost me money, and I didn't have the money. So I made a deal with my dad. I said, Dad, listen, I got this thing that I want to do. I'm learning a little bit about internet marketing, and I think this is a good opportunity for me, but I tell you what, if you can help me pay for some of the things that I need, I'll put some of these affiliate checks in your name, and when I start making money off of some of the things that I'm promoting, you'll get paid. And my dad said, okay. And he gave me his credit card. And he let me go ahead and do what I needed to do, buy the trainings that I needed, and I was not looking for money. I wasn't trying to make money. I was looking for that it factor, that skill set that was going to get me back on track like real estate had done. And so I was already accepting in my mind that this was going to happen for me. I wasn't worried about how fast I would make money. And instead of trying to wait for that money to come for it to be my breakthrough, I went on ahead and learned some stuff, started leasing myself out for hire on Odesk and Elance, became a social media manager, wrote books for people. I started writing articles because I knew at that time article marketing was big. I offered my services based on what I learned to make money while I was investing in myself to build the skill set up to learn how to successfully do this business. And my first couple of checks was $15 and $75, nothing to holler about. But when I finally mastered the skill about 18 months into it, I started popping 5-figure checks per month. I went from a $1,500 check to a $3,200 check to a $12,000 check. It didn't take time for me to jump up because I had acquired that skill, and I was so confident in it that I was on the internet just killing it. Like, it was no shame in my game about what I was doing because I had devoted so much time in learning the skill. So I'm sharing that with you guys because I want y'all to understand that the background that I have with what I'm sharing with you was being in the same boat that you're in, but my focus or my understanding was probably a little bit different. It wasn't about just that instant gratification, but it was about that investment to have a long-term scenario that was going to be gratifying. So let's move on. All right, so when we talk about this whole target market thing, your message out there, guys, make sure you do your homework tonight is to think about yourself and think about literally what are your beliefs and where you are in your life, and are you working out of inspiration or desperation? We're often moved by two emotions. Everything that we do is kind of dictated by these two emotions. If you're inspired to act. When you're desperate, you do things out of desperation because you're desperately hoping for a miracle. And sometimes desperation is like, it fends off success. And so you have to do a little self-evaluation tonight and ask yourself, how are you coming across? You know, where are you in your life right now? What are some of the things that might be holding you back, and work on overcoming those things, because it will be conveyed in your marketing, okay? There are certain things that you can do to get people on your list, but at the end of the day, when people join you, you want to be in position to give them something of value. You guys either signed up with me or your sponsor because you saw something in them that made you say, I want to work with them. So the question is, what's in you that's going to make people say they want to work with you? And that's what you need to figure out tonight, okay? The next thing is, once you figure out all this stuff in the marketing process, you want to get down to where you're building a list of those people that you're pursuing. So if you're going after military moms and families, you focus on building your list full of people in the military, and you're going to be able to communicate with them through email messages. It's going to allow you to build a relationship with them, have them get to know you. There are certain things that you will do and be able to develop in the process of your internet marketing that's going to allow you to connect with them. Once you build that relationship with them, guys, they feel like they can trust you, that's when the conversion happens and people join your business. This is a cycle of success. This is how everything works online. You basically get your system set up, you have your marketing plan in place, you put your marketing efforts out there, you start connecting with your ideal market, your what we call our avatar, and the avatar connects with you by opting into your website, and they join your list. They get on your list, and your email messages begin to follow up with them and connect with them, and you build that relationship continuously throughout those email messages and by inviting them to phone calls and webinars and things that we do and connecting with them on social media sites. And from there, when they see that you are a person of value that they want to connect with, it leads them to join and do business. This is how you get to the money. It might look complicated, but it's not hard at all. And once you figure out what you have to offer, it's so much easier to attract people. Here's what you can expect. With our company, with our team, we have everything at your fingertips. We have step-by-step guidance. We have a support team. We actually have midday motivational calls that you can plug into. We have Monday night Empower Hour. We have, our orientation twice a month. We have a mastermind going on the 4th of the week. There's so many things that we do that you'll never be lacking resources. I think, if you guys follow me, you'll know that sometimes I can explode when people come to me and complain about what we're not doing for them and how we're not, helping them and all these things. And it's like, if anything, I'm probably one of the most empathetic people on the internet and LaSandra will tell you that I'm always thinking about how to help people. And so it's the biggest slap in the face when you devote hours and hours of your time to set stuff up to help people, and they still want to come and complain, and they don't want to use the resources you've put in place. And so what we have here, guys, is beyond what you need. You probably have more information than most people will advise to give you, but you will never, ever lack resources to help you get to that next step. When we talk about the mysteries behind marketing, guys, here's a secret to the gurus. You know, a lot of people are like, well, what did David Wood do? What did David Sharp do? And how is Lawrence Tam getting there? And how, you know, you're going to hear a lot of names in Empower Network that is going to make you say, who are these guys and what makes them so special? What makes them special is that they've simply mastered marketing. That's it. They've learned how to get massive traffic to their website. Traffic is simply leads. That's people who visit the website and opt into their website. They've learned how to generate tons of leads. They've learned how to convert people. They've learned how to rank in Google, and they've learned how to follow up and provide customer service. And we don't say that in the means of getting on the phone, but we mean by providing resources and things that people need to connect with their audience. So if you want to know what the mystery is, this is what you have to master, and that's basically what we just covered in the Internet Marketing Sales Cycle. You know, you just have to learn how to master these things with building your list, driving the traffic, and converting the people, and you'll start seeing yourself getting your name. You know, all of a sudden people are going to be talking about you and giving you a lot of props, and you're going to ask yourself, how did this happen? And it's simply because you just mastered the marketing concept. So here's how to make money for real, okay? First, you want to leave your ego at the door. I think one of the hardest things for a lot of educated people is that we feel like we know everything. So if you come from a background where you've done a lot, you're well accomplished, you well educated, you have, you know, a lot of recognition and awards and all these different things in your background, and then you come into a world where somebody's trying to tell you what to do, you might have your own method in which you want to do things. And I've had people come to me and be like, well, I don't need your help. I already know what I'm going to do. I just wanted to introduce myself, but you won't hear much from me. And you know, months later they've quit. You never hear from them again. And it's because a lot of us have this internal belief that we can do everything ourselves and we don't need anyone's help. So this is not the kind of community that we are. I will be the first to tell you that I cannot function solo. I have a team, and I call on my team a lot to help me. So I want you to get in the habit of being okay with asking for help, being okay with connecting with people who can guide you properly, and being okay with people that might show you something that is contrary to what you thought it should be, and it might be right, and yours might not necessarily be the right way. So be okay with that. Also, follow the steps. You know, people don't like watching training videos, and unfortunately, this is a virtual world, and in order to get to automated money, you have to have systems in place that's going to benefit you just like it's benefiting us. So you're going to have to be okay with following all the steps, not just the ones you want to follow, but you have to be okay with following the steps. So if we say do step 1 through 10, don't go and look at step number 10 before you start step number 1. Just do the 10 steps and finish them up, and then that will allow you to complete every aspect of it to make sure that you're on track. Be consistent. You want to have a schedule, guys, and we teach you that, I think, in step number 7 in the AIG Training Center. You want to be consistent. You want to blog and market daily, and you've got to stay plugged in. It is so true. It's almost like, you know, going to school. If you remember being in high school and you missed 3 or 4 days or you missed a week of school, when you came back, it was so much for you to catch up on that you felt like you missed a month. You had all these projects and things that you had to make up for. So when you miss out on the things that we do, make sure that you stay plugged in. You try to watch the replays of the trainings that we've done. You listen to the replay of the calls, because it makes a tremendous amount of difference when you know what's going on versus when it's out of sight and out of mind. And give yourself at least 90 days. You know, it is true that a lot of us, we want instant results. But guys, you know, it's a cycle of people out here that jump from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. And I have people right now to this day. I got a guy who's texting me right now that he was in the industry long before me. When I came in, I thought he was a superstar, and he was doing big things, and he would show all his money on YouTube and all the things that he was doing, and I was like, dang, he got it going on. But he's jumped to so many new things almost every single month. He's doing something newer every single week since we started, that to this day he's starting from scratch and has not built any real strong level of recognition or brand in the marketplace because he was not patient enough to wait it out and sit and go through something properly long enough to actually get to the results. So, guys, don't be a hopper. You know, be devoted enough to where you can actually get to the point where you see the results that you want. And iron sharpens iron. You know, it's a lot easier to feed yourself BS and discouragement and all this stuff. And Lysandra will tell you I have very few friends who understand me. Like, I have a community of people that I grew up with. I have best friends all over the world, really, but very few of them are like me. So I'm usually that person that is like, what is Nikki up to now? And so when I talk to them, everything that I say out of my mouth kind of sounds far-fetched. Like, my girlfriends always say, Nikki, how you believing you can walk on the moon without, a outfit on, a moon outfit or whatever it is. They'll always say that everything that I say that comes out of my mouth is so far-fetched that it's hilarious to them. So I can't really talk to most of my close friends about what I'm doing because this isn't their world and they don't understand it. So, when you get in a community like Empower Network, finally you're around a bunch of people who are just like you, they think like you, and they believe in what you believe in. And so I will often call my EN friends, my AIG leadership folks, Andrea and Renee and Lysandra, and be like, hey, I got this idea. What do you think about this? And they'll be okay with saying, Nick, that's not a good idea, or I think, no, that's too far removed. We need to cut that out. We need to do something different. So we talk about having an accountability partner because they're in similar stages that you are in your life, and they're there to help keep you accountable to make sure that you do what you say you're going to do. We can be our biggest enemy. And I remember, when I first got involved in ministry in college, they taught us that the biggest enemy is in me. It's in me, right? Like, we are our biggest enemies because we will talk ourselves out of things. We will discourage ourselves. We will begin to tell ourselves that we can't do something. I just went through postpartum depression for 6 months. And it's amazing the different personality that I acquired during that stage of my life. I was my biggest enemy. I was my biggest critic. I was very basically abusive to myself because I was going through all this mental challenges because of the, postpartum depression. But it was amazing that the same person who was always so motivated and inspiring myself to do something was now telling myself that you'll never be anything and you're nobody and everything you've done has been a waste of your time. So, guys, you need an accountability partner, somebody who sees you for who you want to become and what you have the potential to become, and not who you once were based on the challenges that you've encountered in your life. And so what I want you to do is I want you guys to think about, what do you want on your check with Empower Network? What do you want it to say? Tonight you need to sit down and literally jot down where you want to be in the next 3 months within Empower Network. Not 6 months, not a year, in 3 months, because so much can change in 3 months in Empower Network. And I want you to realistically think about your name being on this check and how much of a dollar amount is in there. If you guys have seen the picture that I have out there, I was in the midst of postpartum depression, going through so many challenges in my life after just having a baby. I went to my first event in San Diego in September and got a check. I wasn't expecting a check. I got a check, and the check was for $27,932. I didn't know what that meant, and I later on found out that it was for 3 months' worth of production. But over a 3-month period of time, I earned $27,000, almost $28,000. I didn't even work a month and a half of that. I was still caught up in my postpartumness. So ask yourself, what do you want on that check? And I'm telling you, it can be there if you follow our lead and you plug into what we're doing. Okay? What we're going to do is I'm going to, yep, I agree, Kirk. A year from today, you're going to be glad that you started. A year from now, you'll be glad you started today. Agreed. We're going to get going with Lysandra with the accountability partner. I just want to go through and let me see what kind of questions you guys have. Wow, your situation is admirable. Thank you. I'm looking at all your old comments. You are amazing. Don't look for money. Get the skill set. Powerful. Wow. You are right about the skill set. True. Your tenacity to survive is admirable. Thank you, Velvet. Nicole, is it possible to do one of these on AWeber training? Oh, absolutely. We need to do that, Kirk. We're going to schedule that. Yeah, well, he went through the AIG Training Center, but I do want to do an AWeber training. Go do that. I know he went through it. We talked this morning. Okay. Kirk, let me know specifically what you want to cover, because I do want to show you guys how to master AWeber. I did want to do that. Kirk, I'm also 2 days into this. I'm excited, but feeling overwhelmed now working on autoresponder. Okay, Velvet, just make sure you guys go through. Here's the deal, because what I do want y'all to do, There are some things, what we don't want to do is create a habit of creating more and more training where you feel like you have to have another training before you can do something. Because what happens is you get analysis paralysis. So what you guys want to do, and we're going to hop into the accountability partner training in a second, but what you guys want to do is make sure you go into the AIG Training Center and you go through the steps 1 through 10. And when you get to step number 10, what we're doing now is we're actually updating people because we have tons of extended training back there that a lot of people don't know about. And so I'm going to just kind of give you guys a quick little tour that there may be some things that you need that is back there. But also keep in mind that Empower Network is a training platform, and a lot of the stuff that you need to know is in the products that you have to purchase, okay? So what we're not trying to do is replace Empower Network. We just give you supplementary things that's going to help you get your business going. But Empower Network has a myriad of trainings back there, and that's basically what you purchase when you buy this product. So we don't want to accommodate a way for you not to invest in Empower Network because we're working against ourselves. That's not why we're here. But there are some simple things like in Aweber where I feel like a lot of you guys don't quite understand how to do broadcast. You might not understand how to add your own follow-up message and things like that. So I do agree that we can do a brief overview on that, but we're not going to get too far out there where everything that you need to learn we're going to do a training on because we want you guys to invest in the products that Empower Network provides because that's the reason why we're in this business, and that's how you're going to make your money. So we don't want AIG to become a way to cut out your ability to make money. Because if we do that, then you'll never make money in Empower because people will feel like, oh, I'll just join the AIG for $25 and I'll get everything. So just a little FYI, a lot of what you need may be in the Empower Network. But here's what we have for the AIG is everything you need is going to be in this process, okay? You guys want to make sure you go through every single step. If for any reason you get lost, step number 5 is some training videos that I did where I broke a lot of stuff down, how you understand the internet marketing sales process, what is Empower Network and how does it work, and how do you make money in Empower Network. So there are some things in here that we've put together to try to help you avoid a lot of your questions. But just take your time. Guys, the reason why a lot of us get overwhelmed is because we try to process information before acting on it. And what you have to do, there's this little acronym that I created a couple years ago called LIST. And LIST is basically where you learn something, you implement what you learn, you share what you learn, and then you teach on what you learn, okay? So what that means is if you're going through step number 1, and step number 1 says do steps 1, 2, and 3, you need to make sure you do steps 1, 2, and 3 so you can check them off your list and move on. Don't try to keep going through and reading everything first before you actually act on it because that's what creates information overload. Information overload happens when you're doing too much learning and researching and not enough action and implementing. So as soon as you learn something, immediately implement it, and you'll begin to feel more liberated because internet marketing is hands-on. So you can't read about it. You got to do it. And the more you do it, the better you get. As a matter of fact, this morning, Kurt called me, and he was like, Nicole, I didn't want to call you until I've exhausted every avenue. He said, but I've went through everything, and for some reason I've looked at all these YouTube videos, and nobody's telling me how to find this button on the back of the blog. So I was like, okay, no problem. Let's get on the phone. I called him, and I'm like, what's going on? And he was like, I see on the screen what I'm supposed to do, but I cannot find that button. And I'm like, oh, here's what nobody will tell you. You click the last icon on the first line, and it's going to create a second line of icons. And he was like, oh, my God, I can't believe. And I said, well, this is the stuff that makes you a great leader because your struggles are what's going to make you really good. So, guys, just make sure you're going through. We put this together to kind of answer a lot of the challenges that you have. So go through all this first. Even when you get to step number 1, we even got a checklist there for you to print off, okay, with the AIG getting started steps. You can open this up, you can print it off, and you can walk through step by step. I mean, guys, we've done so many things to make your life easier. We actually have done more than a lot of people advise us not to do. But you literally can just print this off, and you can check off your list what you've done along the way. And that will allow you to really see what's left on your list to do. And if you follow these steps, guys, it will make life easier. Now, once you do that, the next step is going to be the blog training. In the blog training, we have getting started steps for that as well. But if you don't understand SEO or blog syndication or how to link your personal blog to your EM blog, we have all these different things here for you to actually go through, and it explains it to you. So you have access to that. And then based on where you are, you get certain bonuses based on the trainings that you purchased. With a $25 membership, you will not get access to everything back here because it's based on what products you purchased, because we don't want to overwhelm you. So there are certain things, if you're up to the $500 Costa Rica Mastermind or the 15K formula, then there are additional things you're going to get, like the Facebook lead generation, the video marketing, celebrity, lead generation and list building tools, copywriting, pay. We have so many additional bonuses back here. But there are certain levels that you have to qualify for. The way that we know what level you're on is at step number 10, you have a survey that you fill out. And if you don't get to step number 10, we can't upgrade you. But in this survey, it tells us what level you're at. And then that way we can upgrade you from there. So just a little FYI. And then I'm going to go ahead and can you get the link to that site? Zaquesh, who is your sponsor? Who's your sponsor? You did the survey? Okay, so if you did the survey, you should already have a link to the site. Okay. You? I'm your sponsor? Okay. So you should have gotten a welcome email. Just shoot me a message, Zaquesh, on Facebook, and we'll go ahead and make sure you get the link to the site. Because some people, I just sent it to you, Nicole Skipper fan page, just shoot me a message there. Some people, for some reason, all the messages are going to spam. Can I be added to the site too? You should have been on this site, Brian. Ryan and Brian, all your team, I'm giving them access. Yeah, I give you guys access here so y'all can get on it. I don't know why y'all not on there. So anyway, those are our amazing, wonderful, super magnificent traffic coaches Ryan and Brian take. They are simply amazing, and they're showing us how to become number one in Empower Network by giving us super killer ninja strategies that nobody else in the world will share with us. So be on the lookout for their names. Okay, cool. I'm going to hand this over to Lysandra. If you guys have any other questions, we'll stick around after the event, but I know it's getting late on the East Coast, and I want her to wrap up this, go ahead and go through the accountability training. So, Lysandra, I'm giving it over to you.
Okay, let's see. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Ryan just signed an IO for $10,000 for you guys. What's IO? Okay, we'll talk about that. Excited. Okay. Okay, Lysandra, I'm going to hand it on over to you.
Okay.
I can't see your screen yet, though.
All right. Hold on just a second because I am just getting to the sharing part. Hold on a second. I just went out to lunch here for a minute. Sorry about that, y'all.
Velvet, I just got your message that you sent me in my email. Just email me and tell me the video on AIG tour not working. Okay. I'm wondering which one. Just shoot me the link so I can check it out, so I can make sure I get that fixed.
All over here. All right. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay. All right, fabulous. First of all, good evening, everyone, and I'm glad that you are here. I am Lysandra Everett, and before I get started, guys, I really want to, this has been on my heart to really say to you guys, you have to understand what you have here with the Automated Income Group. You're not going to find all of this stuff that we have for you anywhere else. You're just not. And if you don't take advantage of it, you're doing yourself a disservice. We've worked diligently and very hard to make sure that we put something in place for you to connect the dots. I don't care if it's 8 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning. If you're up, that you're able to work and you're not stifled in any way, shape, or form. And to let this go to waste, it's just dumb. and I'm not trying to be harsh, but I want you to understand, you know, and let me tell you a little bit about me. One of the things, you know, in my struggles, you know, I wanted a mentor, okay, but I really didn't have anybody who I connected with. And, you know, when I found Nicole, I actually happened to run into her on Skype, and I was like, look, I was ready to give up a kidney. Whatever she said, I was going to do whatever she said what to do to work with her. And she's like, okay, slow your roll, answer these questions. And I was back to her like within hours because I'm not playing, okay? And you need to understand that Nicole Cooper is just not some little onesie-twosie off the street. For her to be spending her time to train you and take time away from her family, you are getting some rock star stuff. And just to tell you how important this was for me, you know, I was in Empower Network before, and I failed, okay, because Empower Network is great, but it is possible to fail because I didn't have the dots connected, okay. And then when Nicole got in, I partnered up with her, and when I say partnered up with her, I didn't go all in once, I went all in twice because it meant that much to me. So I'm telling you, you're hearing it from me, do not mess around with this stuff. There is money to be made here, and you have we have an awesome leader, and all I'm telling you is to listen to her. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's get on with the accountability partner training. Okay, moving on. All right, let me get this right. Hold on a second. I have a visitor. Yes, baby. Okay.
You know, we are all mommies.
Okay.
So y'all know the kids come in, they don't care what you're teaching. They going to say, Mommy, 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 until you answer the call. Or they going to do it until you finally stop ignoring them. So, Lysandra, that's quite all right. Lysandra, make sure you reduce that little mini screen, the start sharing screen. Yeah, get rid of that. Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Shh. Okay, if you don't, got to be quiet, okay? All right. Okay, so what we're gonna cover is we're gonna talk about what an accountability partner is, what an that accountability partner is not, your first steps and how you can work together, and you know, and when things don't work out, because sometimes it doesn't work out. And the reason I put this in here is because there have been some people who have contacted me that already have accountability partners, and they're saying, Lysandra, my partner and I are not working out. How do I get a new one? And, you know, if this is about business, just remember that. Okay. So here we go. You know, we were just not meant to be an island to ourselves. And regardless of your religious preferences, I'm a Christian person. I'm not trying to convert anybody, but this is the basis of where I get the accountability partnership, the mindset from. First of all, let's talk about iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. You hear people say that all the time, but it's actually is scriptural. You know, I'm reading a book now called The Divine Mentor by Wayne Cordero, and one of the things that he says is that one of the best mentors for business people is Solomon. So next, two are better than one because they have good returns for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up, but pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them. So, you know, we were not meant to go through this alone. That's just, you know, Jonathan, take that in there, baby. Go ahead. So we were not meant to go through this stuff alone. It just doesn't work. Yes. My big sister having grapes all over my bedroom, y'all. Okay. So what is an accountability partner? It's a person who helps to coach you to stick to a commitment you've made. See, one of the things that Nicole gave you as an assignment tonight was to figure out what your message is, figure out what you want, okay? Decide what it is that you want. And when you have said, this is what I want, we've put this down on paper, you know, and by golly, this is what I'm going to have, this is what your partner is going to help you stick to. When you decide, you know, oh, I don't feel like marketing today. Your partner's going to say, excuse me, you said that you wanted to make $15,000 a month by the end of February. You don't get to not market today. Okay? So this is the person that is going to remind you of the things that you want to help basically keep you going and help motivate you. So let's talk about the benefits. And Nicole talks about, our partnerships and our leadership team. My accountability partner is Andrea Boulder, and she is absolutely phenomenal, and I swear she is totally cool and very smart, and if you ever get the chance to learn from her, you absolutely should. She's just a rock star. Okay, but the benefits is, first of all, it forces you to be specific, okay? You can't have a goal of making more money, okay? You can't have a goal of more signups because, if you say, well, I want to make more money, well, if you make a penny more than you did yesterday, then you made more money. Okay, let's get specific. Your partner helps keep you grounded in reality. Okay, Empower Network has made some incomes that were thought to never be possible to make them possible for just about anybody. However, you really can't expect to go from making no money to $100,000 a month in the next 30 days. So let's keep it real. Let's look at your life. Let's look at the time that you can devote really to your business. The tough love. Your partner is going to be the person that's not going to take your stuff. They're not going to want to hear your excuses. And so they're going to tell you that it doesn't matter, how tired you are, what you have going on. Your partner is going to be the one that's going to, kick you in the butt. Like my husband right now is sitting here looking at me because I'm on this webinar and we got to be working out in a little bit. So and now he's walking away, leaving me alone. But your partner is going to be the one that's basically going to give you that kick in the butt. They're not going to be there to stroke you and make you feel like everything is going to be okay. They're going to give you what you need to get you going. And that's where that mutual motivation comes in. Sometimes, you just got to say, look, we can do this. I mean, you can, and you're a team. And so you need that somebody that you can call because you're not going to always be able to call Nicole. You're not going to always be able to call your sponsor in particular, but your partner is somebody that you can call, and you guys can help motivate each other. And role-playing is huge. When you're talking about, dealing with people, sometimes you get some craziness that you don't know how to deal with. You get people that's going to cuss you out. You get people that's going to call you out your name, and you have to remain the consummate professional. So being able to role play different things back and forth with your partner is going to help you to become more successful. I mean, the benefits of having an accountability partner can go on and on and on, but the main thing is that you have somebody to walk this walk with. You guys are going in the same direction, and you can really, bounce ideas off of each other. You can, when you're going through challenges and whatnot. And, I use Andrea and I as an example. I will call her and be like, look, Drea, I'm going through this right now. And she's like, girl, I'm going through the exact same thing. You would be amazed at how much you are actually walking together. So, all right. So let's talk about what an accountability partner is not. And I want to really make this clear. Do not call your partner and whine, okay? Oh, this is not working. And no, you need to be specific at solving your problem. What is the problem that you're having? Is it that I'm trying to connect, the thigh bone to the leg bone, but I don't understand why this is not working? Okay, that's the problem that you can work out. But just to whine about, what's wrong with the system, what's wrong with this, it's raining outside. No, don't call your partner and do that. And your partner's not going to be your excuse acceptor. And don't accept that from your partner. We've all made excuses for ourselves. okay, as to reasons why we can't get something done. Your accountability partner is not going to be the one that's going to be trying to hear it because they know you. They know what you're capable of, and so that's why they're not going to always be your best friend. They're not supposed to. This is a business. We, as having accountability partners, you want to make each other's business successful, okay? So, no, we're not each other's best friend. This is not going to happen. You know, Andrea has had a talk with me. Hey, you need to get this together. You need to do we need to do A, B, C, D, and this is what we're going to do. Ready, break. Okay. So I'm not saying you have to be cruel. I'm just saying it's not going to always be that best friend that you can just dump all your stuff on. All right. So let's talk about choosing an accountability partner. You know, first of all, there's no right or wrong way to choose a partner. Like right now, I went through for the people that want an accountability partner. Some of you I'm still working on, especially if you're new. And if you have not emailed me to let me know, your what state you live in, that kind of thing, you need to do that. Because what I've done initially just to get this ball rolling is to put people together based on geography, because time zones make it so much easier. And then, then you can work from there. But when you're choosing your own accountability partner, it's got to be somebody you respect, okay, and that you have a mutual respect. You've got to have similar lifestyles and goals. One of the things, I love Ryan and Brian, but they will host a webinar at like 10 o'clock at night on the fly. I'm like, listen, I got kids. I can't be doing that. But the thing about it is, so it'll be kind of hard to pair a mom with a family with a single person that has just themselves, because they do things a little bit differently. So you want to, be with somebody that's walking the same path that you're walking. Somebody that's going to complement your strengths and weaknesses. We're not all smart in everything, okay? So, you figure out where you're strong, you figure out where you're weak, and your partner can complement those things so you can actually be strong for each other in those different areas. Now, the most critical thing here, though, is that the person must be willing and be able to be your partner, okay? You can be willing but not have the time. It doesn't work. You can be able but not willing. It doesn't work. So you've got to have those things in place. So, like if you are flighty, maybe you need someone that's more focused to help, really bring you down. Maybe you're just all business, like type A all the time, and you need somebody that's going to help you, keep the stresses away. You need to know yourself first, know what you need first as, for yourself, and then you can really look for a partner that's going to help you along the way. Okay, so in making it all work, all right, you have to really be willing to submit to the authority of your partner, okay, and you got to be honest. So with those things, it's kind of hard. If you're used to kind of, being an island to yourself, you have to be willing to say, okay, this other person is going to have some level of authority in my life, in that if your partner is like, look, you need to crank out another piece of content tonight, okay, because we've committed to, 4 pieces of content. You only got 3. You need to crank out another piece tonight. Then you need to be like, okay, cool, I need to crank out another piece of content tonight, because that is the person that is reminding you of the commitment that you made to the things that you want. And if you're not willing to accept that authority, then you're not making the partnership work. So you have to be able to humble yourself a little bit and just be willing to accept that from your partner. All right. Now, let's talk about how to interact. So the first thing that you really want to do is create what I call an all about me document. And this talks about, your lifestyle, whether you have a family, if you have a job, if you're, whatever the things that you have going on in your life. And you also need to talk about how you like to be coached. What are the things that make you tick? What are the things that make you, that get you excited, that get you going? This is a document that's going to kind of help you know yourself, all right? Determine your goals. You need to determine your short-range goals, where you want to be in the next 30 days. We have, I do believe it's in the back office. I'll have to go back and check. But one of our team members a couple of months ago put together this great plan where you can sit there and document where you want to be in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. So you need to determine what your goals are so that you can share those with your partner. Decide when you'll meet and how long. Maybe it's on Skype, maybe it's a phone call, maybe you talk every day, maybe you talk twice a week. It depends on your partner. In the beginning, however, I do recommend you talk about 15 minutes a day so that you can get to know each other, get to know each other's work ethic, and then you guys can set some daily goals, and then as the partnership goes on, you might not need to talk that much. You might talk once or twice a week. But you decide what's going to work for you and your partner. Decide when you will meet, how long, and protect that time. And the next thing is to set expectations for the partnership. You need to know where you're walking together, what you expect from each other. If you, expect your partner to call you on the carpet on some things, what are you willing to give to the partnership? So really talk about what you expect from the partnership. And the one thing that you should expect from the partnership is for both of your businesses to grow. All right. So set goals from one meeting to the next. So whether it's a daily goal, a weekly goal, you want to set a goal. So if your daily goal is to say, okay, well, we're going to generate 10 leads between Monday and Tuesday. Well, Tuesday you need to check in. Okay, how are you doing on generating leads? Okay, well, I generated 5. Okay, what did you do to generate those 5 leads? All right, and the other person, well, only generated 1 lead. Okay, we need to look and see what you're doing wrong. So that way, when you set those goals, you can really look and evaluate at what you're doing, see what's working, see what's not, tweak your plan, and move on to the next goal. And you might have some in-between calls, kind of report into your partner when you complete the task. So even if you set a daily goal of, generating 10 leads, hey, if you get done with your 10 leads in 2 hours, say, hey, I've got my 10 leads done. How are you doing? Okay? And so you can really, and this can be, and it doesn't have to be a phone call. It can be a Facebook message. It can be a text message or something like that. Use the technology. It doesn't have to be anything drawn out, but you want to really keep in contact with your partner. All right. So to find out, what do accountability partners do? They work together. That's it. You pick up each other's slack. You call leads. You evaluate work plans and goals. The ultimate goal is to help build each other's business. So if you, actually pick up the phone, okay, and, if you have a new team member, you call your partner's team member, because what that does, it really puts you, it makes you appear bigger, if you will. If you have your assistant, if I call someone for Andrea, hi, my name is Lysandra Everett, and I'm Andrea Bolter's assistant, and I was calling to welcome you to the team. Well, it's really cool to get a call from somebody's assistant, okay? So this is also a way, when you're calling people, about your business and upselling and that kind of thing, to let your partner do that, it really takes the emotional connection to the outcome away, all right? If you are, you get to that point, I really need somebody to upgrade right now, I really would like to see some duplication in my team. We all get that feeling. But see, your partner, that's when your partner needs to step in and say, okay, let me make this phone call. Because, see, your partner is not tied to that phone call where you are emotionally. So this is where an accountability partner can really step in and help you with that, because there isn't that emotional connection and totally take that away. Okay, so let's get on to, I even checked to see if we had any questions so far. We got any questions? Okay.
I've been answering them, so you're good. We're good.
Okay, all right, cool. Let's cruise along. Okay, so let's talk about the breakup. Okay, first of all, you need to understand that your accountability partnership is about business, okay? It's not personal. You can have an accountability partner that is your great friend, but not a great business partner. And as an example, I was in another business, and I had my accountability partner. She and I were great friends. We were such great friends. We talked all the time, but we never talked about business. So she and I did not work well together on the business end, and we're still great friends, but we just couldn't be partners in business. So the first thing is that you have to know what you need in a partner, okay? And that goes into choosing your partner well in the beginning, all right? And also, your partner must be ready, willing, and able to be your partner. So I had a phone call this week from someone who was asking, how do I end this partnership? Because my partner is gone off doing other things to get money for Empower Network. I'm thinking, okay, well, no, that's not a good idea, because you should be focused on building Empower Network to get money for other things. So that other person is not able to be a partner, okay, because their focus is elsewhere. They're not walking the same walk. So those two things need to be in place, or the relationship will not work, all right? And again, it's nothing personal. This is business. So why would you let your own business fail because of someone else, because you need a different partner? That's an irresponsibility on your part. And at the same time, if you know that your feelings have changed, if something happens and you decide, you know what, I've given this a shot and Empower Network is not for me, do your partner a favor and tell them that, okay? But we know nobody here is going to do that, right? Okay, but now the how to break up partner. If you have a problem, talk to your partner. You know, just say, okay, listen, I had this issue where I was really, I was really having a down moment, and, I really needed some motivation, or, I really needed some coaching on this, or whatever the issue might be. And it may be something very small, it might be something big. But if something is not working, let them know. Because this is about your business. This is about your future. But the one thing I want you to do is that before you go find another partner, evaluate what went wrong. Ask yourself, what went wrong here? Did you not choose the partner well? Did you need something that you did not convey to your partner? What is it that went wrong to begin with, so you don't repeat the same mistakes? Okay? So now, in addressing your partner, please keep in mind, your partner may not even know what they did wrong, so don't address it as, you did this, you did that, whatever. This is more of, this is what I need to have, and it might just be something that your partner doesn't know or that you didn't relay in the beginning. So what I'm saying is that it may not just be the other person, it may be you as well. What I'm telling you with the partnership, in this, it's kind of like dating, except it's a business relationship. You need to look at, you are just as responsible for the partnership as your partner, period. Both of you have the responsibility. Okay, so the nuts and bolts is having an accountability partner is one of the best things you can do. it can be your safe place. It should be your safe place. This is a place where you can hash out ideas, get chewed out, work out the kinks in your business, chew your partner out, and then, you guys move along and grow in business and grow together. Because I'm going to tell you, any relationship that you have, if it's all peaches and cream all the time, then somebody's not being honest. You're going to disagree on something somewhere, but it's all in how you disagree, how you fix it, and how you move along. I like the story that Nicole tells when Tracy Walker was telling her she needed to get in Power Network, because Nicole was like, no, I'm not joining Power Network. And Tracy's like, yes, you are. You're coming in, so get in and have a nice day. But that's because they have that type of relationship that they've built over several years, that they can have a conversation like that. And what I'm saying is that you can have that as well. And, look at them. We've got Tracy Walker, who is an ultimate powerhouse in Power Network, and we've got Nicole Cooper, that's our leader as well, that's a powerhouse herself. So, these partnerships do work. So here are some things that I want you to do. Now, in our group, in the IG group on Facebook, there is a document there with accountability partners listed. For everybody that has already sent me their names and states, then you should have an accountability partner. There are some exceptions. We have some international people that I'm still working on, but if you go to that sheet and your name is not there, contact me, because we have a lot of new people coming in, and we'll get you partnered up. Now, the thing about this is just the beginning, okay? And the reason I'm saying that is because I just put people together based on geography and as much of because I really don't know all of you. So this is where your assignment is going to be to connect with your accountability partner. And you're going to trade your all about me documents. You're going to talk about you. You're going to talk about your goals, okay? And what is today? Today is Tuesday. So we want to have that done no later than Friday, okay? That'll give you some time to really think about, no later than Thursday, because you're going to have some time to think about what you want your goals to be, what you want to achieve in the next 30, 60, 90 days, and it's going to require you to do some soul searching, but you can do that by Thursday if you really put your mind to it. Okay. And you're also going to set up your initial meeting with your accountability partner. And, and that's when you just, spend, a half hour just, talking about, looking over each other's plans, asking questions to really help kind of bring clarity to your plan. So those are the assignments that are based for your accountability partners. All right.
And I do have a couple of announcements too. Guys, the reason why we're setting up these accountability partners is because we actually have some fun stuff coming up, some contests, some giveaways. I want to give away some stuff. I want to give away money. I want to give away, some technical gadgets and do some fun things. And what we're finding is that a lot of times, guys, we get lost and we need somebody to talk to. And we just need somebody to kind of coach us through some things and kind of be there to push us like Lysandra just went through. So having that person to kind of bounce some ideas off of, what we're going to do is give you and your accountability partner some goals to shoot for on a weekly basis. One of the things that we have that if you are in the inner circle, you will get access to, let me see. I'm going to go ahead and take possession back again, and let me just share my screen real quick. Is when you go under the training, we have like some things that you can do every day when you first get started. And we walk you through what your goals will be and what your focus will be for the week. So under the 1K blueprint, we actually need to upgrade this. We don't believe in a 1K a month. We actually want to focus on 1K a day. We just haven't upgraded the documents. But what you want to do is get your hands on this document with your teammate and make sure that you go through each and every one of these steps. We've mapped so much stuff out in here, so we kind of have like a guide to show you what you need to do when you're getting started, what week one should be, what the focus should be, what your goals should be, produce at least 1 or 2 pieces of content a day. So this should be a good way for you and your partner to actually start working together and having goals, saying, okay, we're going to connect on day 3 and day 7 to make sure that we've done days 1, 2, and 3 and kind of exchange what we've done. And then day 7, we'll talk about what we accomplished this week and compare notes on what we've accomplished. Having this worksheet, guys, you get the first week if you have the $25, but you get weeks 2 through 4 if you have the inner circle. And the reason why we did that, at the $25 level, you're limited with what you can access. You only get access to the blog. So we recommend you get at least the inner circle training with Empower Network so you can actually access the inner circle training. And so make sure that with you and you're going to find a partner with your partner. You're going to find a partner with Lysandra, and once you get the partner, you need to immediately get with them and try to knock the stuff out. We're going to start having contests. We're going to launch them next week. But here's the deal, guys. You need to get your ticket to Austin. You want to get to a point. I love it, Kurt. I just got my first inner circle sign up while I was on this training. Go ahead, Kirk. High five. He said it's on now. Yeah, you become a believer when you get those emails. But when you come to Austin, what's going to happen, we're going to have recognition and awards and all these things that we're going to do. Really fun, really great time to connect. And a lot of times, I always share that virtually it's easy to connect with people and disconnect easy. It's like a relationship that never happened because there's no face-to-face interaction. But once you meet people at these events and you really connect with them, it just is something that happens that kind of alters your whole perception about our industry, and then it also builds long-term relationships where these people become your friends for life. I mean, me and Tracy, when we first met at our first event, I don't even remember which one it was, but we became roommates at every event after that, and it got to the point where if an event came up, because I knew Tracy was going, I wanted to go because I just wanted to spend that time with my sister. She became like my sister, and she was my mentor, and so it was just so great to be in her presence and be around her and learn from her and share ideas and do things. It's funny when you get to meet somebody in person and you see how they act and how corny they are or how comical they are. So I really encourage you guys to come to Austin. I'm so excited about Austin, and so what I would recommend is make sure you go and you get your ticket, because as we're launching these contests, we're going to have tons and tons of things that we're going to do when we get to Austin, and we also want to see you guys on the leaderboards. It doesn't serve a purpose if you guys aren't getting results with all this that we're teaching, and so we want to get you to the point where you're getting results. And so getting you on the leaderboards and getting that red lanyard, getting in the top 200 of the company, that's what we want to push for with our AIG members. And so I really recommend y'all go on to the back office of Empower Network. Let me see. I'll pull it up. And you guys can see where you go and you buy your ticket and invest in your ticket tonight. Don't worry about where you're going to stay and all that stuff. You can always room with other people, but here's where you would go. You go to your back office, go under my training, and then click on the Austin event, and you'll be ready to get access. It's the weekend of January 18th to the 20th. I know some of you are trying to rearrange your plans and stuff like that, but it's so cool. We had such a great time. So do what you can to make arrangements and kind of alter what you need to make sure that you get there, because it's an amazing opportunity. So come on back here and get your tickets. And if you have any more questions, we'll be around for a little while longer to answer your questions. Otherwise, we are done for the night. So what you guys need to do now, do your homework assignment by going through and just thinking about who are you and, like, what is it that you're trying to accomplish, and at the same time, what is it that your current mindset is attracting in your life? What do you need to change? The red lanyard, good question. The red lanyard is basically those who are in the top 200 of the company. When you go back here and you look under my business, and they have what they call the leaderboard. When you go back here, you click on this competition leaderboard. They have like the top 200 people. How many now they got? Top 600 people in the company, okay? Those who make it to the top 200 will actually get what they call these red lanyards. And the red lanyard is just basically it segregates you as a VIP, so you have a lot of exclusive benefits at the event, but you also get acknowledged on the leaderboard. So we have quite a few people from like the Dream Team on here. We have Sean Johnson and Shalonda Gordon. You have several different people. If you just go through and you come back here and you look and see, but it really doesn't take much to get on the leaderboard. Basically, if you get your team to, once you get people signed up and they buy tickets and they upgrade in the system, for everything that someone does, you get credit for, okay? So I'm on here at number 23. Tracy is on here at number 15. So we kind of are represented for the Dream Team. But, yeah, the goal is to make it in the top 200. And when you make it in the top 200, you get all these perks and benefits and things like that. It's pretty cool. And I didn't even expect it. I mean, you sit on this white couch in the front of the room and all these great, wonderful benefits. And then Empower Network emailed me today and was like, oh, I'm going to have a limo pick you up to get you to the hotel, and we're making arrangements. I'm like, wow, this is superstar status. So just basically, honestly, if you do anything, you'll get on the leaderboards. It doesn't take much to get on the leaderboards. 600 people in here. And 25 points. 25 points, the point system, I don't know where they have the point system at, where they show you how to calculate. I think it's under the blog. We'll have to find it. But anyway, either way, you want to get on the leaderboard. So it all starts with you buying your ticket. Once you buy your ticket to the event, you'll start positioning yourself to get on these leaderboards. And who doesn't want to be recognized? Aren't y'all ready to get on the stage and be recognized? So, yeah, I'm so glad. Hey, Al Ray. Excellent training. I'm honored to be on the team. Thank you. You're welcome. Awesome. I'm glad to be here on this team. I'm glad to be a part of the team once again. I'm excited. Hey, Taizanese, glad to have you. Yep. So, so glad to have you guys, and I'm so glad y'all showed up. I'm going to tell y'all, we put so much heart and soul into doing stuff, and people don't show up, and then they complain, and they do all this craziness to us. So just make sure you stay plugged in, because we really do care. Contrary to popular belief, people think we're mean and we're greedy and all this stuff. And I have a tendency of writing posts to relieve myself of what's going on in my brain. And sometimes people can't receive what I say, but I really do care. I just want you to care more than I do. So glad that you guys came on the training. Go on and get your ticket right now to the awesome event. Also, for those of you who are interested in co-ops, we have a co-op coming up. Basically, a co-op is when you buy traffic, and basically you rush the process of getting signups in your system. So we actually have one going on right now. I don't know how many spots we have left, but it is $250. And what happens is you get traffic automatically driven to your website for you, where you don't have to basically do the work. And you have a great potential of getting signups. And the guys who run our co-ops are our trainers, Ryan and Brian Tate. And the last co-op we did, I actually had a $6,000 day thanks to their co-op, and that's how Walter got his first $1,600 day. Keisha had her first $1,500 day. So if you guys are interested in that, just reach out to us on the Facebook page, and make sure y'all are plugged into our team Facebook page, okay? So if you go to Facebook, it's in step one, but we have a whole family and community here. So come on over here and just show some love to the site and talk about how this training has helped you tonight. Fill out the accountability partner list and all that good stuff. So we see that Mercedes has already responded. And so good deal. All right, y'all, so we're going to wrap this call up. I know it's late on the East Coast, so y'all have a great night. And we got some more stuff coming up, so stay tuned for email messages, text messages, and all that notifications to let you know what's going on. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye.